The Sandbox Chronicles Shedeur, Cleveland, and the Return of Wonder, Chapter 1. The grown-ups problem, the sports bar in downtown Cleveland, was unusually quiet after the Browns' preseason press conference. ESPN had just aired a segment on Shedeur Sanders, the Browns' new quarterback heir apparent, dubbing him Cleveland's hope and Prime 2.0. It was flashy, energetic, borderline Hollywood. Joe, a 58-year-old electrician and lifelong Browns fan, sat at the end of the bar shaking his head. Kids got too much flash. Ain't no room for sunglasses and hashtags when you're trying to beat the Ravens, he muttered into his youngling. 3 stools down, 9-year-old Miles, sitting with his dad, piped up between bites of chicken tenders. But he's cool, Dad. He said he wants to win for the city. He's not afraid. Joe scoffed. Kids got more jewelry than playoff wins. Miles shrugged. He has no NFL games yet. Exactly, Joe thought. Chapter 2. Remember when Joe went home that night and stared at his vintage Bernie Kosar poster? The one from 1986, slightly faded, corners curled. He remembered how he believed Bernie could walk on water. Back then, he hadn't needed perfect stats or measured leadership. Back then, all he needed was hope. He realized he hadn't believed like that in decades. That night, Joe dreamed. Not just any dream, he was 9 again, in the dog pound with his dad, face painted brown and orange, screaming through a homemade paper megaphone. And next to him wasn't Kosar, it was Shedeur Sanders, not the real one. A dream version, but still, there he was. Gold chain, confidence, cleats brighter than Lake Erie in July. Do you believe, Joe? Dreamed Shedeur asked. Joe didn't answer. He woke up in a sweat. Chapter 3. The child's mind Miles had drawn a picture of Shedeur Sanders in art class. Cape, Brown's helmet, fireworks in the background. His teacher posted it on the hallway board under the title, My Hero. Joe saw it a few days later when he came to pick up his niece. He stopped and stared. The drawing wasn't perfect. The proportions were all off, but the spirit, the belief, it punched Joe in the gut. He realized something then. Shedeur wasn't just a quarterback. He was a symbol, not of guarantee, but of possibility. That's what kids see. That's what adults forget. Chapter 4. The Dog Reborn training camp was electric. Shedeur was raw, sure, but you could see it in his eyes, the fire, the edge, the joy. He threw a 40-yard dime during a scrimmage and ran to high-five every kid near the sidelines. Reporters asked him afterward if he was trying to show off. Nah, he said, grinning. I'm just having fun. Football's fun. It's supposed to be, right? Joe watched the clip on his phone over and over. It's supposed to be fun. When had he forgotten that? Chapter 5. When Sunday comes opening day. Deshaun Watson was out, and Shedeur got the start. Cleveland was buzzing, nervous, skeptical. Joe stood in his living room, Miles by his side, both in Browns jerseys. On the first drive, Shedeur was sacked twice. Joe groaned, too much college in him. But then came the magic. 3rd and 18. Pocket collapses. Shedeur rolls out, pump fakes, jukes a linebacker, and throws across his body to Njoku for 27 yards. The stadium exploded. So did Miles. He's like Iron Man, he shouted. Joe didn't say anything, but he smiled. Chapter 6. Jimmy's words Jimmy Watkins of the Cleveland Plain Dealer wrote the next day. Proper Shedeur Sanders perspective requires Browns fans to think like a child. Not childish, but childlike. Wonder, trust, possibility. That quote stuck. Joe printed it, taped it next to Bernie's poster. Chapter 7. More than wins, the Browns didn't go undefeated. Shedeur made rookie mistakes, but the city felt different. Shedeur hosted school visits. He opened a community center. He gave every inner-city football team custom gloves with their names stitched inside. And every Sunday, thousands of kids watched him believing in more than just football. Chapter 8. The turnaround in Week 10, with the Browns fighting for a playoff spot. Shedeur led a 90-yard game-winning drive. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't clinical. It was messy, fearless, joyful. Exactly like a kid would do it. Joe cried. Not because of the score, but because he felt it again, the wonder, the belief. Like he was 9 again, watching the impossible become real. Epilogue. A long game Cleveland didn't need another cold, calculated quarterback. It needed a spark, a kid, a dreamer. Shedeur wasn't just a player. He was a mirror. And the city, once jaded, began to see itself with younger eyes.